Okay, so as Ashwin sir said, I'm audible. Let us start with our things again. So the first part, we need to understand why we are here to design a questionnaire. See, we need to collect a survey. We need to have an online poll. This particular questionnaire will be used for online polls. Again, we need to take a feedback from the student, from the subscribers, from the users. So all this particular part we need to have a survey. So now again let us try to understand. Okay, so there are lots of ideas which many companies could be generating with the help of their employees, with the help of their student, or maybe you need to collect some ideas from your friends. Now, rather than now in this lockdown period, how you are going to collect these ideas from them? You can talk to them, or maybe you can have a n number of friends wherein you need to collect the idea. So your questionnaire will help in designing. You just design a questionnaire, a form kind of structure which will help you to collect information from many people. Now, again, there could be a marketing person who will be again required to collect a data which is required for his product. So, collecting information about the online product or maybe the services at this particular time of period will be helpful. Now, again, you have a website, you have developed a channel, YouTube channel. Now, many people are having their own channel right now in current days. So, this will help to evaluate their channel, to take a feedback of their channel, how it is popular with a student or a teachers or maybe the public or maybe the people, right? You can also share a file with this particular thing. Now, sharing file could be easier task, but again, when we want to share a file to a particular group of people, now we need to have a security question. So this kind of security questions could also be put it over here. We can also create a registration form or maybe a entry form for a student to enter into this particular seminar or maybe any seminar. Now we can also have many websites have a contact form or feedback form. So you can create that contact form or feedback form. And lastly, again, we can have a quiz or maybe quiz your test which can be conducted online through this particular mode. So this was basically the idea of why we are the benefits of your form. Now let us start with how we are going to design a form, right? I can see that you can now see my screen. Now, the first step here is to basically, the first step here is to identify how you can go into the form, right? So, creating a form, just log in your account with a Google email ID, or maybe you should have a Google ID with you to log in with a form. So, once you log in with a Google form in a Google email ID, just go. This is how I'm going to log in into my email ID. Now, this is an application options. So Google will provide you with some kind of application. This is called as a Google Apps. Just click on that Google Apps. There are lots of application available here. From that, go to Drive. So once you go to Drive, okay, so you have a new tab over here. On this new tab, wherein you can create lots of options. So I'm just clicking on new tab. So you have an option of creating a folder, file upload, file folder upload, maybe Google Doc, Google Sheet, Google. Now you go to the more and Google Form. So you go to the forms, click here, and you will get a blank form open. Right. So this is how you can start your form. So this is the first step wherein how to create a Google form. Just log in to your email ID, click on app option, open your drive, click on new tab, select more, right? Select more from here, new tab, and go to the Google form. So this is the first thing we need to do. Now there is another way for going to this particular location of your drive. You can also type here drive.google.com. com. So again, this will also take you to the same area, to your drive, and then you can continue with your new, and then with your more and your Google form. So this is again one way of going to this particular area. Now let us see how actually we can develop this form or maybe modify this particular form. Right. So this is how my I started my form. The second step would be creating your form. Now, foremost thing you need to understand, you just give a name to your form. So I will just name my form here. Okay. So I've named my form as my first form. Now you don't need to do anything, just enter it and your form will be automatically saved in your drive. Right? So just click outside, it is saying saving. Now, all the changes will be saved in it here. Default, the location of this particular form normally is your drive. You cannot just directly create a form and store it in your hard disk. You need to store that form in your Google Drive. So you can create a folder. In that folder, you can create a new form, and then you can go ahead with that. Now, this form is what we are going to create. Now, before that, just again see new, more, Google form. See, there is one more option of here which says Google form or a form template. So, what is a template here? See, template will provide you with lots of different options which are already created and designed according to their themes. So you have a contact information, you have a party invitation, you have an event registration. So these are the all forms which are already created and stored in your Google Drive. So your Google Drive is or Google Form is giving an option of a template wherein you can have a ready-made template. You don't have to design a particular template. Of course, you can definitely modify this template as per your requirement, make some changes as per your requirement, but definitely it will be a very easy task for a student, for us to have a very simple templates available which can be used. So we have a event feedback, we have a order form, we have a job application, right? We have a work request, and there are so many different template if you can go through it. So you can just click at one template. So I'm clicking one template here to show you how it is displayed. So this is how the ready-made template will be having your name, your attendant, you attend, and so many questions, whatever you want to frame can be also be visible there. Okay, so now this is how the ready-made template could be working. Let us go back to our blank form. So here we are trying to understand how to create a form. So let us go to the blank form. So this is my blank form. Now your form name and your title name, this is a title name, will be same, right? But now we can have an option of changing that title name to whatever I need or whatever I want. So let us change a title name. So I'm going to change a title name to something feedback form. You can have your title name as per your requirement, and that will be done. Then you have a description. Now description is a part wherein you need to write how or for why we are going to collect this information. So basically I write here I am a student of, right, and collecting information for this all purpose. So your whole paragraph goes here. So I can write here I am a student of PP Shivani University collecting information for us, my studies, wherein I am going to do a survey on a particular product, wherein I need to find how the popularity of the product is, and whatever you want to thank you for the respondent or whatever schedule you have for that particular thing. So this is how you can go with a form This is how your second step, which is creating your form. Your second step starts from new, more, and Google form. So once I click on a Google form, my second step is creating a blank form or a template. So here I have selected my form. I have entered my name. I given a title for that particular thing, a form, and I have also given a description my particular form. Now, this is how the second step will work. Now, going to the third step, the third step is understanding the toolbar. See, at this particular right side of this particular form area, this right is a toolbar. Now, what is this toolbar used for? This is a plus button wherein this particular toolbar says this is add. You can add new question to your form. You can also import some question from your previous forms. You can also have a more title and description area. You can also add images. We can also add video, and finally we can have a sessions. Now we will see step by step what this particular options are. So let us try. So I'm going to start with add question. So this is my first question. Now in this first question, normally our first question says that what is your name? Or maybe you can just write enter your name. Right? So now see, you can see this particular options here. It is written short answers. So if I click on it, it is short answers. It is a paragraph. It is a multiple choice question, or maybe a checkbox, a drop box, a file folder, a linear scale, a multiple choice grid, a checkbox grid, a date, a time. Now these are the options which are available for your questions. Now let us work on one by one for each option. So you first with a name. See, when I see Google is so much intelligent that when you just say enter your name, it automatically converts your multiple choice question to a short answer because it understands that some lines will be, some name will be inputted here, and so it will be working on. So let us go ahead. I entered enter your name, short answers. That is fine. It will be just a one-line answer. Then again we go to the add question. So I'm adding a question here, right? So my second question will be age. Okay. So what is your age? Enter your age, right? So enter your age is basically not a short question, a short answer. So here I'll go for a multiple choice option. Now, what kind of multiple choice option do you need, right? So you need to design a questionnaire first. So rather than having a directly design a question form, we need to sit back, identify what kind of question I'm going to ask for my respondent, and based on that whatever you are asking, you should first create a rough draft of your questionnaire or maybe a final draft of questionnaire in a word. So I've created one particular thing for you to make you understand how it will work. So I'm given a question, so my email ID, name, a gender, and a age. So let us have this particular age. I've created a age group which is multiple choice question. So I'm just taking a copy paste kind of thing from here. Other than entering, I need to save some time here to enter the figures. So 15 to 18, then we have 19 to 30. This is my age group. I want to take a survey, and my respondent age group I have divided into this particular category. See, again, I need to make you understand that when you collect information, I cannot keep the age group free, right? Because people, maybe anybody can enter their own age group, like 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. Now, to analyze this in a statistical area, it could be much more difficult. Now, of course, people do that also, right? But now we are not going to do that. We are going to create a age group category wherein I have defined my age group between 15 to 18, 19 to 30, 31 to 45, and 46 and above. So this will help me in identify the things. Now, as it is multiple question, let us see what is the output of this particular thing, right? So I'll just go to the preview. This is a preview part. You can see preview part. I'll just go to the preview and I see the preview of my form, right? So I'll just make it a little bigger so it will be visible. So this is how my form is created. So it is allowing me to enter my name. Right? It is allowing me to enter the age. Now, as I have clicked a multiple choice, it will allow me only to, it has given me many choice, but it will allow me to select only one from the above. This is what a multiple choice question is, right? Now, let us go back to our form, right? Again, so next what? I need to add one more question. I'm going here to the add part, clicking on add. See again one more question. Enter your gender. It could be only male, female. Now again, if you can see, there is suggestions given by form itself, right? So if, whatever you want to select, you can select it from here. You want to enter, you can enter, no issues. You are able to enter your own choice. But Google Form will also suggest some options which are available for the gender. So I'm going to click male and a female. Or there could be another part wherein say not preferred to say, fine. Some respondent are there, they don't want to disclose their gender, fine, it is okay. But now I'm not giving that option, I'm just giving this particular area which is a gender, male and female. So again, just have a look at it, go to the preview, see how it is there, fine. So this is my gender, male and female. Again, I'm able to select only one from the two, right? Let's go back to the my form and check the different option, right? So we have an option here. Again, you go to the add new one. So you have to have a question. Now after multi-choice question, we will go to the checkbox. Now what is the use of a checkbox, right? The checkbox can be used for different purposes. Like if there are more than one option to be selected, right? So if I'm going to say ask where do you use internet, or maybe for what, which are the devices you use for accessing your online lectures. So let us see, right? So I've created one question here. I'm going to copy this particular part here. Paste it. Device you use to access internet. See, there could be more than one device. See, I have a PC at my home. I can use that PC for actually accessing the particular device, this particular internet. Maybe your mobile devices could be used. Maybe your tablet could be used. Or many people have a laptop. Laptop can be also used. So this particular question will say this. Now, in a previous part, if you can see, I have copy paste one by one the age group. Now, there is a different option of here. I will go back to my question, which has already been typed. If you have lots of option here, see, now I have only 3. But if you have 5 to 10, rather than copy pasting, select all this particular thing. 3, I have selected together. I have set copy. And I just go to the option part and say paste. See, automatically I have got the 3 different options pasted. You need not go and copy one by one. Need not go and copy one by one. You can copy a session of the answers or questions and you can directly input it here in your devices. Fine with this. So again, let us check the output. Go to the preview. Right, this is my device used to access internet. So here, rather than having one, I can use a 3 different selection. So you can see this is allowing only to select one. Here I am allowing to select more than one device. So there are some questionnaires which will allow you to collect information more than one option. Say like what are your hobbies? So when I go for a hobbies part, there could be not one hobby, there could be n number of hobby of a person, right? So if I'm giving a 10 option, a person could select any some of them or maybe more of them, whatever his choice are, right? So let us go back to my form. Let us go for a new question. So I'm going for a new question now. So what is the new question now? Let's create a drop down box. So I'm creating a drop down box. Now, what is the use of drop down box? See, location, enter your city, right? From which city I am. So normally you must have been filling some questionnaire wherein you are trying to attend some webinar. So you find this question very popular, right? City, state. Now, city, state. Coming to the city, see if I am giving an option of blank. See if I am creating, just imagine you create a short answer of city, enter your city. Right. If I'm giving this particular short answer of enter your city, see people will answer a lot of different answers for my city. See some will see. I'm just showing you an example here, right? Wherein I can actually write Bombay, right? I can even write Mumbai. Right? If I'm trying to say Ahmedabad, I can also write Ahmedabad like this, and someone can come up and write like this. So this kind of spelling mistake, or it not a spelling mistake, they pronounce this particular cities in different area. See if I'm writing a Vadodara, uh, this is actual name of Vadodara, right? Somebody also write this. So according to them, this pronounce this, right? So see to save this kind of thing, say if I'm right Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad, Vadodara. Now there are various spelling mistakes in this particular thing, or not. Even I will not call this spelling mistake because they at a local area call this kind of names. So if I'm in Mumbai, I'll call Mumbai, Bombay. There are two different names. See now, when you go back and try to do a survey, this will be creating a problem. You need to rearrange this particular thing. You need to change. See, Ahmedabad ka Ahmedabad hai. So you need to change that thing, right? So what I will do is I'll don't give them an option of entering the name. I'll give them an option from my side. So I create a drop down list and I create an option. So I've already created some option here, right? So I'm giving them only 5 options here. So they have to select Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Pune, Surat, Vadodara. These are the options. So now this will not create any spelling mistake kind of thing, and it will be easier for me to process this data at the end of the session, or maybe when I collect whole my data after 2 months or 1 month of time. Definitely, I need to process this data. This data will be easily processed there. Now, what is an output of this, right? So let us go back, see the output, how it has worked, right? So this is my enter your city by option drop down. Let us go to the preview, see the preview, right? So now you don't have to enter a city name. They are giving you with an option. This particular form will give you an option, whatever option you want. See, you can have n number of options. You can give each and every city or district whatever you want. See, if I'm going to create Surat, fine, I've created Surat. Now, when everybody select this option, it will be easier for analyzing the data at the end of the particular survey. Okay, hope this is clear. Now let us go ahead and try to understand more of it. Now, chalo, next part is here. Add one more form. Go to the. I will show this file upload at the end of the session. But now let us go for a linear scale. Now, why do we use linear scale? We need to know the ranking of it, right? we need to know the ranking of a product. See how the product is popular with the children, for example, right? They love it or they don't love it. So now when I go for a ranking, I can have a ranking from 1 to 5. This is what it is displayed here. I can also have more of it, say 10 tak bhi ja sakte hai. Let us keep 1 to 5 or maybe 1 to 7. So I want to rank my particular product in 1 to 7 part, right? So what is the ranking of the product? So it could be bad, one, it could be good, right? So it could be good, or maybe you can say wonderful. When I create this, I'll say please rank my product. Okay, let's go back to the preview and see what is the output. Now, rank my product, fine, it is good. I can say whatever you rank, it is according to this particular part, right? Now, you can have a bad or a good, whatever you love it, I don't love it, whatever, right? Now, I'll show you one more fun part of this in the ranking of a product. Now, this ranking of product is very, very simple and very comfortable to look. But if you want to make it more attractive, just go back. Please rank my product. This is an image. So you can see this particular image, right? This particular option. This option is to enter the image. So you click on it, it will go to the image area. See, it will open sub window. In this window, there are lots of options here. Now let us try to understand which are the options are available. Upload a photo. See, here you can browse a photo from your desktop or a laptop or a mobile device, whatever you have. From that photo, you can add to this particular thing. You can even use a camera. The camera will allow you to take your own clip and maybe post it by URL. If you have a URL of that particular image, if you are getting an image from a Google Drive or maybe an online search, you must have a saved a URL. You can add to it. You can also have a photo which could be in your account. See, there could be a photos in your account, your Gmail account, your Drive will have a photos that Drive will also be taken care. So all the photo listed in your Drive will be coming up here, right? Now you can also search a image from a Google rather than going back to the browser, identifying what image. You can just directly search here. So I'm writing here. I'm writing Oreo ice cream. So suppose this is the image list I've got. I'm selecting one of it. I'm not going to search more. I just thought this is the best one I can see here. So I say insert. So this is a product, right? So this is how you can add image to your questionnaire also. Now you can see some three dots here. The three dots are the options for you. So you can have a left align, center line, or change this image, remove this image, right? So these are the options given for you to work with the image. So let us see how the output will change. Now definitely, ये bad था, this is wonderful. I can even have something which is very wonderful to understand, right? It is called as a emojis, right? So I have these emojis. I can say bad rather than using a word bad. I can use this particular emoji, say, and wonderful. Again, instead of wonderful, I can use this particular. So now this is quite the feel good look for your questionnaire. Okay, so now come back. So this is how my questionnaire will look. Please rank my product. Okay, so I've seen one product image, and here you can have the ranking for that particular product. If you love it, just go and click whatever you want. If you don't love it, stay here. Fine with this? So this is how you can create or add images and a ranking for your, this is a linear scale for your questionnaire, right? So let us go ahead. Okay, fine. So I'm coming back to my feedback form. Let's go down, add one more, right? So after adding one more, now the question arises, if I want to have a multiple grid choice, fine, we can create a multiple grid choice also. For this, there are some rows and there are some columns. So let us see how these rows and columns can be entered. Right. For that, I have also already created some questions here. Right. So what is your skills? I want to know the IT skills of your, or maybe the student or the person who is taking a feedback. So IT skills could be this. I have some options of IT skills, HTML, Photoshop, Word, MS, PowerPoint, Excel. Here you can write that particular options. So you have a HTML, Photoshop, Word, MS, PowerPoint, and so on. So we need to understand the expertise of that particular person. So we have a column. In column also, we can have an expert, good, normal, and not known. So I will just say expert, good, normal, and if I don't know, say not known. I don't know, not known, right? So how this particular thing will work? So we have a rows, we have a columns. We'll take a preview of it. Just go to the preview and see what kind of things are available, right? So you have an HTML skill. I'm expert in that, normal in that, or Photoshop. I don't know Photoshop. Fine. I'm going to click here. I know Word very well. I know PowerPoint very well. I'm not good in Excel. Fine. So this is how your scaling can be taken care. Hope this is fine. Let us see how it can be used for a different purposes. This is a one way we can use it, but the same concept can be also implemented here. Another kind of question wherein we need to have a Likert scale ka question. So when we go for a Likert scale question, definitely we need to have a agree and strongly agree, disagree, and all this kind of question. So let us add one more question to it, right? So how can you create awareness for a product? So how can you create awareness for product? How you want to create awareness? This is a question you are going to ask to your respondent, and these are the options you are giving to the respondent. So I'll just click here, give this particular option. Right. So we have an option. I just want to know that multiple choice nahi hai ye. This is a different kind of question. So let us go click on multiple choice grid. So I'm going to create a grid. Okay, I want it in a row, so it was shifted to the column. So no issues, just clear it out and write it here. Now in columns, how you want to go in a column, right? I want to go for a strongly agree. First part, disagree. Second part, be a neutral. I don't want to say anything about it. I don't know about it. Fine. Neutral. You go for a agree. Agree. You go for a strongly agree. You have a strongly agree. This is how you can create a. Let us take a preview. This is how you can create a Likert scale ka format, right? So you can click only one at this particular thing. You cannot have two options and one particular row. Fine with this? So I want to create a product awareness with the help of newspaper. Strongly disagree. Fine. Social media, I agree. So this is how you can create this particular thing. Let us go back. Check why the grids have been used. So see, if you can see here, every time I click a preview, one new preview tab is open in my browser. So let us keep closing that tab. As soon as the work is done, close that tab and go back to your form. Right. Chalo, next, adding a form. Now multiple grid ho gaya. Let us go for a checkbox grid. So what is a checkbox grid? See, I want to select more than one option. See, a multiple grid will allow you to select only one option from a row. Now, if a row requires to click or select more than one option, that is 2 or 3 options, then you definitely go for a checkbox grid. So let us go for a checkbox grid. Now, what is the use of checkbox grid? I've created one more thing like this. I've created a day-wise row. The question would be my food menu for a week. Right. So let us have this one. You have n number of options here. You can create your n number of options of your list. This item, whatever item you are basically like to eat or maybe allowed to eat, just keep on uh, using that or pasting that or typing that, and finally you will select whatever item you want to go for that particular. Normally, this is how your doctors as a professional use this chart for creating a food diet for a patient. Right. So let us. I've created this. So we have a rows which is Sunday, Monday, weekdays, and we have a column which says the food item which can be used. So let us go and see the preview of it. Okay. So this is a box I've got as a preview. So my daily food menu for this week. Okay, so a Sunday I want to go for a chapati and a sabji. I don't want to go for a rice. Fine, and definitely have some kind of option. So I can select a 4 option here, or I can select all option here. So Monday I'll have a very diet food. I can have a chapati and sabji, and I maybe have some dal and a sweet. Fine. Tuesday maybe I have a fast. So I'll just take a juice. That's all. I don't want to go for anything else. So any other day I want to go for, I don't want to go for a chapati, and so I will have this particular stuff. So these are the options you can keep on selecting according to your needs and so on. See, this is basically a weekly medicine or morning medicine, afternoon medicine. For that purpose also we can use this particular as a feedback or your awareness kind of thing. Are you aware of this particular product in this particular features? Okay, fine, I know of this particular. See, if it is a comparison, see, if I want to compare a talcum powder with 2 different companies or 3 different companies, so these features have been listed at the row part. I can list of features here and a product name here, and so you can click on the features which you are aware of. Suddenly this will create this kind of format for your questionnaire. Hope this is clear. Now let us go further. I'll go to the next part. Now next part here in this particular thing is basically date and a time. See, if you require to have a birth date of a person, right? So I will say enter your birth date. Right? In this case, the month, date, and year. So basically, this particular format is used in a particular way. Like it is taking a format in DDMMYYY. That is 2 digit of a date, 2 digit of a month, and 4 digit of a year. So when you click it, you will get a small calendar here. You can also enter your date here, right? So I can enter my date here. Say I can want, see, whatever the date is, you need to enter, and it will work accordingly. Fine. Now you can go here, click whatever the date is. So this is a wrong date. Just delete it and refresh it. and you can just click on it, and you will get a date whatever you want to enter, and say okay. Now normally the birth date is not at the end of the form. See, I'm while creating a form, as per the option I'm going to create this particular, I'm showing this particular things to you. Now if I want to shift this particular birth date at the top, maybe after name or maybe after email, let us go select this, drag this up. So I'm dragging this up wherever I want. Say I want this particular thing at the after name. Okay, I leave it. So this is how you can shift your tabs of a questions. So you have after name, you can directly go to the birth date, right? So these are the various options available for you in this particular session of your add tab, wherein you can add, keep on adding a questions, and then after adding a question, you can go for a time also. Normally, somewhere in some forms we require to collect a time of a respondent, so we can give a time. Or if I have a slots available for some kind of event, say 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, so that option of selecting a time slot can also be given from here, right? So now, if due to some reason, if I've entered this particular tab which is not required by me now, I can just say delete. So once I delete it, it automatically goes off, right? Similarly, if this kind of tab, say for gender, I can have a feed, I can have a duplicate of it. Similar kind of thing I want for a thing. Say I'm showing you for an age. Similarly, I want to know your profession. So I don't want to create this particular question again. I'll just click here, enter your, so enter your profession, right? So here you can also enter the same kind of professions like your professor, associate professor, student, etc. So I don't want to create more of it. I'll just, this is a shortcut wherein you can also create a same kind of thing. Right. Now the form is created. Next part, the main part here, how you are going to send a form. Right. So let us have a preview of a form for a final check. Okay, the preview is good. It's look fine. I can say submit here. I can cancel it. Now go to the feedback. Right. Now there are different options available here again. Responses. Now what is basically a response? Let us see. My form will have no response right now because I have not made the form live. I have not shared with it somebody. And how you can share the form, we'll see. But responses are the area wherein you can collect the information of this particular form. So I will take you to the one of the form which is already ready with me to show you the responses. So this is a survey form created by my student, and she has written something to collect the information. And this is how the forms have been created. And I go for a responses. So when you click on a response, there are options which are available not accepting response. Now the survey is over. So once the survey is over, I don't need to collect the information. So my responses have closed. The form is not, now anybody want to enter the data into the form, it will not accept. Other than this, the form will have an option of summary, questions, and individual. Summary. These are the list of my respondent, who are my respondent with the Gmail IDs and so. And then we have a gender, we have an age, we have. See, if the respondent are filling the form and you are collecting a data, Google will automatically summarize this particular data. So in this case, gender, there are 55%, that is 33 male and 27 females, 45% of this particular. See, all this is very easily created and generated by Google Forms automatically. Even you can have this chart or tab copied onto your copy here and paste it in your Word file. It will be very much simpler. Now, other than this, but see, all different kind of chart diagrams, bar diagrams are also created in this particular Google Form automatically. If you are more than 2-3 options, definitely it will create a different kind of diagram according to that particular question. Right. Now, if I want to download this particular respondent into a drive, now this is a form, right? I need to know how many respondents I have already there. So I create, I see this particular sheet part. So this is a symbol of spreadsheet. I can create here. Now I can create new sheet or maybe a select existing. So this is first time I'm creating. So definitely it will create a new sheet. And at the right side you can get a create. See at the bottom it will be creating. You will get a notification of creating and automatically. So this is a data which has been collected by the student in a form. Getting it? So this is the data which is there in your form. Now with this particular statistic tools I can use this particular data to analyze. I can just delete the wrong entries which are there, which are not required. For example, if you can see one of the entry here is all the student are postgraduate, and one of the respondent is 10th pass. So if I don't need the 10th pass, I can delete this particular entry. This is how we can use this particular part, right? Now come back to here, how we are going to share this form, right? I've designed a form. I need to share this particular form. So you have a send option here. With the send option, you can create an email ID. This is the email ID. You can enter your email ID at the rate something something, and this form will be forwarded to that particular person only. If you want to have more, just put on comma 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 and enter your email IDs. But you have n number of student or n number of friends to be where you want to send the form. Definitely there should be a shortcut. Now for that shortcut we have a option of link here. So you create a link. This is your link for this particular form. You create a link, but again this link is quite large or long link. You can have an option of shorten a URL. You are creating a small link. This is nowadays all the people are doing. So you create a small link, okay, and just go here and you can say copy. So when you copy this link, automatically this particular copied link, and you go to the WhatsApp part and paste the link, automatically the link will work as a your entry point to the form. So once anybody click the link, this is very easy method to share the data. Then we have a social media link here. You can directly upload this link to the social media account of yours, maybe Twitter or a Facebook. You don't have to copy paste there. Just click it. It will be shifting to that particular area automatically, right? So this is how you can send or share the form. Now there is one option here, collect email address. See, in this particular form, whatever I've created, I have not collected any email address of the form, right? So I want to collect the email address of the form. Fine, I'll just say collect the email address of the form here and say send. So automatically email address of the form is collected. Now there is one more option here. At this particular part, let us see the setting part. In setting part, there are three options: general, presentation, and quizzes. In general, collect email address. So automatically respondent email address will be collected. We have a limitation of response. See, I don't want my form to be filled by one person again and again, right? So I will limit that particular respondent. So the respondent need to sign with Google ID. He will need to have a Google to some ID for a Google, and then only he will able to see the or maybe fill the form. Then we go for a presentation. The presentation, your progress bar, how much you have gone through the form. तो आपका जितना progress है form में, it will show that particular progress. Now, so now see if you have just seen, I've added collect email ID, tick किया है, limit resource time to this, and I've seen save. Definitely I'll get one more option here automatically, which is email ID, email address. Right? Now, what is the use of it? No student will able to fill the form twice. And I know the form, those who are filling the form are the genuine one. So how it is looking in my preview part, let us see and check the preview. This is a preview part. This is a required field. See, now you can see the star, which is small star, which is coming up here. This is a required field. That means you need to enter this particular field compulsorily. Now let us see one more part of it. You go to the ad, I need to have a mobile number. Right. So mobile number is basically a short answer. Automatically it is converted to the short answer. Fine. Now mobile number, if I'll remove this first. If mobile number, if I'm saying preview of it, what happens? People will enter any kind of number here, any large number here, but it will not allow. Right? At this case, I'm done nothing. It is going to allow. So need to format in such a way that it should not accept 10 number. It should not accept character also. यहाँ पे mobile number it should be numeric. It should not take any characters. So let us see how it will be taken care. Right. So mobile number, short answers. Go to this three dot again. It is an option. Response validation. I click a response validation. Now it is a number. Fine. It will take a number. But again, it will not take some numbers. I go to the regular expression. Now, again, see if you are giving this particular option in text, length का क्या use है? It will limit the text of that particular short answer to certain limit of length. See if I am entering a name, my name should be minimum 3 words. Your name could not be A and B, so it could be minimum 3 words. Text, it could not enter a number. And so I go for a regular expression and it contains what? So there are many options here. I say matches. I'm showing you this just to identify how you can take a mobile number. See pattern. What kind of pattern? For pattern, we need to have a numeric pattern. So what I do is I create a square box here and say 0 to 9 and enter square box. Right. Now I need to do this for all the 10 numbers. 0 to 9, 0 to 9, 0 to 9. Or another option is just say curly braces and say 10. So what happens? My short answers will create in a form of a numbers. So if you have a numbers, mobile number, just see what happens here. I'm entering a number, right? I'm entered a large number. What happens? It is not matching the pattern which has been decided. So right, I will enter only 5 numbers, 10 digit numbers. So now it is taking only 10 digit numbers. It will not even take a 9 digit number. Right? So only 10 digit numbers are basically allowed here in this format. So let us see once again. Go to the regular expression, match the items, say 0 to 9 and 10. Right? If you have an age kind of thing, just go and say numbers and say, okay, let us see for the name. Name will have what kind of thing? Name will have a text, right? Or maybe I can have a name ka length to maximum count or minimum count. As I told you, it should be 3. So minimum count is 3. So when I enter a name, which could be of 2 digit, it will not take. Okay, so I have given a space here. So minimum at least 3 digits is required. So I entered a 3 digit. Fine, it has taken the name. These are the various options we can have in a Google. Now let us see. I'm running short of a time, but let us see how this particular thing can be decorated. So you have a custom theme here. From this custom theme, I can use to have a choose image. So this image, I'm going to use a default image which is available here for my questionnaire and say insert. So this is how you can have some good bit of a decoration for your form. So feel good look aa jayega. Then we again have a theme of your like. You can have this colorful theme for your theme color. You can have a background change, which could be like you want to have a dark color, light color, and so on. According to the theme, this particular bit color will be keep on changing. Right? Then you have a font style also. You can go for a basic font or a decorative font or maybe curly braces kind of font. So whatever the fonts are, a playful font, the numbers will, this particular name or font will keep on changing. Normally we keep the basic font, so it will look a good kind of feeling. Right? So let us see the next one, last part here. Suppose I'm creating a form here at this particular stage. I'm taking a mobile number, I'm taking a name, and after this, I want to add one more question here saying that, okay, after your name, I want to have one more question saying that, are, are you aware of this product? Okay, some ABC product. Now, if answer is yes or no, I want to give only two options, because if the person is aware of the product, I don't want him to fill this particular survey. If the person is not aware of the product, I want him to fill the survey. So in this case, what I will do is I will use this particular part of a session. What is the use of this session? I'll create a session here saying that add a session. So automatically one session 2 will be added. Now again, okay. So now what I'm doing is I want a person, if he is aware of the product, he should come out. There is no need to take a survey of the person if it is aware. If it is not aware, then I go to the session here. So in this case, what I will do is I'll click here on this particular part of your tab of your question. Go here and say, go to the session based on an answer. I should click here. If somebody says yes, go to the submit form, because I don't want to continue with him. And if he says no, continue with the form, right? So this is how you can break the form into two parts. So one part is now how it looks. Just take a free. So your form will not be displayed full. Previously we had a form which could be displayed full. Now we have a form which is some parts are required, email ID, mobile number, and so now this is quite a thing wherein I need to enter the email ID somewhat and some mobile number and some name. And if I'm aware of the product, yes, then definitely it should take me out, right? So now if the product is aware, it will not allow you to take any question further, but definitely it give you an option of send me a copy of a response. If I want to have a response in my email ID, yes. If I don't, just forget it, right? Clip it off and say submit. So this is how your form will work, right? But what happens if somebody says no, right? Again, I need to enter because I have made this particular part as a compulsory part. So I need to enter this all the time when I test the form. Okay, so I've said no here. I'll go to the next. Fine. So now I am able to give for a form. See now my form, if I am leaving anything blank here, if I'm not entering city, my form will go ahead because I have not give this particular option as a compulsory option. So what I will do, I need to have all the field compulsory, or whatever field you think should be compulsory, you need to. Okay. Okay. So now name. I want this particular mobile number to be compulsory. So here I go for a required field. This is a required field. I say click, and this particular mobile number will be now required field. That means compulsorily person should enter this field. So automatically star will appear to the field which are required field, which are compulsorily filled by the user. They need to fill this data to go ahead for the thing. See, because nowadays what we do is we keep most of the field which are compulsory with the required option. So this is a required option which is here. We feel compulsorily do that particular part of it, right? Hope this is fine. There are many things we can go ahead with the. Still, we can, if we have a time, we can go for a some more options of this particular form. For example, in settings, I have this particular part, limit to one respond, edit after submission. See what edit after submission is? If I'm filling a form once, if user will be able to edit this particular option or not. If you want user to change the options or maybe to rectify the option again, then we can go for this particular edit option. But normally we don't, right? So we don't click on it. Come back. So for a just for a feedback, like for a quick review, what we can do is we have seen how to create a form. Just enter your name, put a tab here, a title here, and your email address. This is a toolbar which is used to add question here. This is a import questions. Now import questions, I'll show you quick part of import questions. So I'll go to the bottom of this particular form and then import the questions. Now what option import question I have? Okay, so I have created a previous form. I have some form which has been created previously. I select this particular form and say okay. See now when I select this particular form, I have created such kind of form previously also, right? So I have all the questions here available automatically for my that particular form. So any of the question is been similar to this particular form which I am right now creating, say for example educational status, right? Already the questions have been created there. I just need to take these questions here. So I just say import question, right? So automatically the questions will come up here in your new form, right? Fine. It has been to the top because my cursor was at the top. I need to shift it at the particular location. I can just hold this, hold that six dot here, drag this particular thing wherever I want. I want after enter your name, I want the education status. I can take this particular thing and now have a preview of it. Okay, so my educational status ka tab is come here. So this is how you can use your previously made questionnaire from the forms in your currently developing a form, right? So current developed form can be also taken care from here. So just for a few, these are the more option tab we have, which will allow you to do undo, make a copy of a same form, or maybe if you want to delete a form, get a pre-filled link from your previously form. Now this is a one more option. If you are doing a project with two or more people are involved into it, say if I'm doing a project, my sir has given a project wherein I'm three of us are involved. So three of us want to change a form at a particular time of given time, right? So if the rights have been, see, if I'm creating a form and if I want to share this form with two of my friends or three of my friends who can also modify that form, so I will need to add the option of a add collaborator and your authors. You want to give the access to this particular file to somebody else also. So I add the people here, I add the group here. See if I'm adding, I can add the email ID of this particular two or three person. So I'm adding one email ID. So I've added an email ID here. Now, when I add an email ID, I get an option of an editor, right? So editor, yani, he can also modify that particular form, right? And if I want to have some message for him, fine, the message is there. And if I want, if I'm sending message, he will be send this particular message here. So now I can actually use this form to share with my colleagues or people, wherein with the help of that I can also give access to these particular people who can also modify that particular form, right? So hope this is clear with everybody. So major part which is there in your form which are required to be used in a form have been covered here in this particular session. So let us go back to Dr. Ashwin. He will guide us for the further part of it. If any questions are there, we will be able to discuss now. Ashwin, sir.
Yes, sir, Indu, sir. Thank you
Yes.
so much for your valuable time and information. The session is really good, and hope our students have learned so many things. It's a basically part of research, and our students have a subject on research methodology in upcoming semester. So they definitely learn this practical session. So students, now if you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions? A few of the faculties have also joined. Even faculties can also ask the questions if you have any query, any doubts. I don't think there should be any query because session is so simple and very uh, well explained.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So if you have any query, let us have one more minute for waiting for you for your queries.
Yeah, I'm getting the feedback in the
I'm
message.
also checking the feedback. They are saying that no doubts, sir,
Yeah,
and so on.
yeah. Someone was asking the feedback link. I will share soon. Don't worry.
Okay, Biden. We need to explore this form a bit more because see there are lots of small option there to explore. Just say I told you how you enter the mobile number. So 10-digit mobile number will be very simpler to enter here with this kind of simple formulas. Similarly, you can set the formulas for your name also, for your locations also. Wherein this could be a required field. So I think you guys should be able to understand or maybe have such a more explore this particular form. If you can make it yourself, it could be more useful for you.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Okay, I think the students have no any questions and doubts.
Okay.
So I really thank you, Salinder sir, to give your previous time and having a wonderful sessions.
Thank you, Ashwin, sir, and thank you for the PP Shivani Institute for giving me this particular opportunity to interact with the student and being part of your family. Thank you, Ashwin sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for so much. Yeah, we can leave now, sir.
Okay, so we can
Yeah,
wind up the thing, sir.
yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, so I can leave.
Yeah, sure, sir. You can leave.
Or we should wait for the student to leave or something.
Yes, students, if you have any question, you can ask. Especially to semester 4 students who have already learned the marketing research subject.
Acha.
Semester 4 and semester 6. They already learned the subject. Okay, I think there is no such other queries. Okay, fine. Okay, sir. Salinder, sir, thank you so much.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you, sir.
thank you. Bye.